How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really do appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. New gun control laws sweep 3 blue states. Starting in October, 3 blue states will put into effect a slew of new gun control reform legislation. Lawsuits against Colorado and Maryland have arisen, while Connecticut so far has steered clear of any new legal trouble. The states in question are Colorado, Maryland, and Connecticut. Once considered a purple political state, Colorado has been passing gun control legislation at a fast-moving pace. 2 laws passed by the legislature in April will instill a 3-day waiting period for firearm purchases and make the path easier for gun violence survivors and victims to sue manufacturers and dealers. House Bill 23-1219 imposes a 3-day waiting period and a background check for those who seek to purchase a firearm. Customers could previously purchase a gun and receive it the same day. If gun stores violate the new regulations, they could be charged a $500 fine for the first offense and up to a $5,000 fine for the second offense. A gun rights group filed a lawsuit challenging the new timeline requirements, calling the waiting period unconstitutional. The Rocky Mountain gun owners initially filed a lawsuit against the law after the Democratic-led legislature passed the bill in April, but the group withdrew its lawsuit after a judge ruled there was no standing. Rocky Mountain Gun Owners Executive Director Taylor Rhodes said in a statement last week, "We will not bow down to unconstitutional infringements on our Second Amendment freedoms. We've reloaded our legal arsenal, and we're ready to take on this absurd waiting period that does nothing than trample on the rights of peaceable gun owners. We will not let tyranny prevail." Senate Bill 23-168 makes it easier for Coloradoans who are victims of gun violence to file lawsuits against gun manufacturers and sellers by removing the requirement to pay the defendant's legal bills for those that lose the lawsuit. Similar laws have been enacted in New York and New Jersey and are also facing legal troubles. Let's move on to the state of Maryland. Maryland lawmakers passed a new concealed carry gun law in April, placing limitations on where people could legally carry concealed firearms. Senate Bill 1, titled the Maryland Gun Safety Act of 2023, went into effect at the start of October and prevents gun owners from carrying firearms in hospitals, stadiums, schools, government buildings, businesses that have a license to sell alcohol or cannabis, museums, racetracks, and video lottery facilities. The new sweeping provisions are already facing 2 lawsuits. One from the Maryland State Rifle and Pistol Association, and the other one from multiple gun rights groups, including Maryland Shall Issue, the Second Amendment Foundation, and the Firearms Policy Coalition, and other additional plaintiffs. The groups believe the restrictions violate the Second Amendment, and a judge on Friday consolidated the lawsuit, partially granting a motion for preliminary injunction, blocking part of the new law. The order issued by U.S. District Judge George Russell III is a partial win for the plaintiffs, barring Maryland from enforcing the regulations in places where alcohol is sold, at public demonstrations, and on private property, unless expressed by the owner. The order states it is further ordered that state defendants are enjoined from enforcing these laws. Let's check out what's going on in Connecticut. Connecticut passed numerous gun safety laws in June, marking the most wide-ranging package of legislation since the 2012 Sandy Hook mass shooting. House Bill 6667 bars open carry of firearms and creates stricter rules for gun storage. Connecticut residents as well as non-residents can apply for a state pistol permit. The law also requires those who lawfully possess a firearm to report stolen or lost firearms to the organized local police department in their area. Governor Ned Lamont, who is the Democrat governor for Connecticut, signed the legislation this summer, prohibiting the sale of more than 3 handguns in 30 days to any one person with certain exceptions. After Lamont signed the series of measures, Idaho-based We the Patriots USA, who was a gun rights group, filed a lawsuit against the measure. Last year, the National Association for Gun Rights requested to temporarily block the state's landmark 2013 gun safety law passed in response to the Sandy Hook shooting, saying the law violates the Second Amendment. In August, a federal judge refused to temporarily block the measure, stating the group failed to provide evidence that large capacity magazines are commonly bought for self-defense. Plaintiffs propose that ownership of assault weapons and large capacity magazines is not protected by the Second Amendment because they have not demonstrated that the specific assault weapons and large capacity magazines in the challenge statutes are commonly sought out, purchased, and used for self-defense. As we all know, these laws are put in place to punish law-abiding citizens. They do nothing to stop the criminals from raining terror on cities across the country, especially in Democrat-run cities, where gun crime is through the roof. And when they say so-called assault weapons and large capacity magazines are not commonly sought out and purchased and used for self-defense, you can Google and find numerous stories where that's absolutely false. I personally call an AR-15 with a 30-round magazine or more the great equalizer. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments section down below. And as always, I appreciate everybody's support with the channel. You guys are always crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And I invite everybody back to see my next video.